Good morning, Rutgers Scarlet Knight fans. I'm back and I'm angry. I'm very upset, as most of you are. This weekend has been a very difficult weekend for Rutgers fans, as you can understand. Starting Friday, 11 a.m. Central Time against Purdue, and then culminating with last night's non-selection in the March Madness. So let me just get right into it. Like most of you, I'm upset. I'm frustrated. This is absurd. You're going to hear me say insane a lot over the next 10, 12 minutes. I'm going to try to just air this out, vent. And thank God for YouTube or podcasts that I can vent like many of you probably want to as well. This is just insane. And I'm just hoping somebody out there sees this and maybe it makes this much of a difference in the future or makes you feel a little better, because there's many of us that feel the same way, that we got robbed. Once again, the RU screw came in. I got very close to this team. I know a lot of the players. They're good kids. They work their tails off. They're practicing right now. They were shooting in the gym last night after the selection committee. These guys want to put on a good show. They want to do their best. But yeah, they're hurt. They're very upset today. And I know I'm also speaking for them, because somebody has to. And I know a lot of you are. Thank goodness for you real true fans, because we need to stick together. We need to voice our opinions, and we need to say when something is not right. Otherwise, nothing happens. Let's face it. Let's start with the process. There's 68 teams that would be selected last night, and 32 of them are automatic bids. So you figure there's 36 teams that generally would get picked from the general public. 32 win their conference and they're automatically in, like Fairleigh Dickinson got in. Even though they didn't win their conference, Merrimack won it, but they're disqualified for some violations, so the second place team got the automatic bid. That was FDU. Probably would have been nice that if nobody got it from that conference, because, we got the second place team makes the tourney. I'm not so crazy about that rule either. But 32 automatic bids, 36 picked from the field. Well, of those 32 automatic bids, I got about 12 teams would have got in anyway. Like Alabama, Arizona, Duke, Gonzaga, Marquette, Purdue, Texas, San Diego State, all ranked teams. They'd have got in anyway. Oral Roberts, right on the end, they had 30 wins. Florida Atlantic, 31 wins, right on the cusp. And Memphis, I think they had like 27 wins. They probably all would have got in anyway, but let's just say there were 10 teams out of the automatic 32 bids would have got in anyway. So that means there's only 22 teams that kind of snuck their way in by winning their tournament and probably wouldn't have got in. Good chance they would not have got in. So that means if you take the 22 kind of bid stealers, as they say, that leaves 46 teams from the regular crowd that get picked and selected to come in. Of course, you got your number ones, your number twos, your number threes, number fours. They're all getting in out of that 46. So 46 teams that are picked, 22 teams had to win to get in, right? Rutgers is not a top 46 team. Let's just start there. Rutgers is not a top 46 team in the country? No. They were ranked, 23rd? They were hovering around that 25th spot for several weeks. Knocked off the number one team in the country at Purdue. We're gonna say that a lot as well, because it was huge. Purdue becomes number one. Mackey Arena, one of the toughest to play in the country. Packed, screaming, drooling fans for their number one team. Who comes in? Rutgers. Beats them. Huge win. But anyway, why do we have Ken Pom? Net. That's all we've been hearing and talking about. Oh, the Ken Pom, the net. Well, Rutgers was in the 20 to 35 Ken Pom all season. We only needed to be top 46 or so. We were 20 to 35 all season. Ended up at 35. Teams that were lower, Pittsburgh, 67, and they got in. Arizona State, 66, they got in. Providence, 55. USC, 50. Penn State, 49, who we beat twice, by the way. All got in, but Rutgers didn't. Insane, unbelievable. Bullshit. Sorry, I don't like cursing, but I have to say it. And then the net. Why do we have the net? Why? We were 30 to 40 in the net all season. All season. 10 teams that got in had lower net scores than us. It's nuts. And I'm sorry, that's where Pittsburgh was 67, Arizona State 66, Providence 55, USC 50, Penn State 49. In the Ken Palm, you had North Carolina State 55, Arizona State 68, Pittsburgh 77. They got in over Ken Palm 35 ranked Rutgers. Insane. It's nuts. And this is where the committee members need to be called out. There's 12 people who select the teams that get in, the field. They basically selected 46. Basically had to pick 46. And 10 of them already were in from conference wins, like Alabama, Arizona, Duke, Gonzaga, etc. So they had to pick basically 36 teams from the field. And you're telling me there's already 10 in that were top teams. Alabama was ranked 4th, Arizona 8, Duke 21, Gonzaga 9, Marquette 6, Purdue 5, Texas 7, San Diego State 20. They're in already. So take 46 of the best teams, of which those teams would be part of that 46. How do you not use Ken Palm and net? I don't want to hear because of Mawat Mag. I got to know Mawat Mag. He's a good kid. The committee's not making him feel real well right now. He almost feels like he's to blame for his team not getting in. Shame on you for bringing that up. It's ridiculous. It's absurd. It's insulting. Because even after Mawat's injury, we go to Indiana. We only lose by 6. At Indiana, another crazy tough place to play. Lose by 6 without Mawat. Then right after that, we go to Illinois. Close game. Ended up being 9, but the score was more like 4 or 5. Could have gone either way right up till a few minutes left in that game without Mawat playing. So stop it. We go to Wisconsin, beat Wisconsin. We go to Penn State, beat Penn State. You want to keep bringing up? It's just a poor excuse that they threw in there, and that was not really the reason. The reason was the committee is biased. Has to be. Stop with the Mawat Mag. We go to the Big Ten tournament, we beat Michigan. We had Purdue on the ropes the whole game, back and forth, up like 12 in the first half. At the end of the game, there were some very, very questionable calls. I was there. I saw them all. And we have one person to kind of blame for that, one really bad referee, which I'll get into later. And another tough showing on a neutral court against Purdue, a number 1 seed in the country for the March Madness. But you don't consider that? Are you kidding me? They're saying Purdue's going to be a Final Four team. And here Rutgers should have beat them. And you don't let that team in. The committee is biased. I'm sorry. It's biased. You got Chris Reynolds, who he played at Indiana. And now he's the Bradley vice president. Chris Reynolds. Played at Indiana. You think he likes Rutgers? Yeah, I don't think so. Bernadette McLeod is the only one I'm going to hope fought for us. She's from New Jersey. And she's the Atlantic 10 commissioner. So there's our only East Coast kind of Northeast representative From New Jersey, I'm going to give her a pass. I'm going to say, Bernadette, thank you for trying. I'm sure you did. I really do believe you did. Then you got Charles McClellan. He's from Texas. Jamie Pollard, Iowa State AD. Bubba Cunningham, North Carolina AD. Mark Coyle, Minnesota AD. Dave Heek, Arizona. Arizona State got in. You got the AD from Arizona. Yeah, we know who he voted for. Greg Byrne from Alabama. Keith Gill, Sunbelt. Barry Collier from Butler. Martin Newton, another Alabama from Sanford, athletic director. And Tom Wistrill, Big Sky commissioner. Where's the East Coast representation? Where's the Northeast? We're not getting in with this committee. Are you kidding? And then Reynolds has the balls to say, oh, Mawat Mag played a... Get out of here. Stop it. It's unfair. You don't make him feel any better. You don't make Rutgers feel any better. Say it like it is. Say it like it is, which you never will. They just got robbed and it was biased. There's no question. Oh, my God. Well, based on that, we have a few people to thank for where we are. Obviously, the biased committee is one. And then we have a few referees to thank. One, the Ohio State game, which, you know what, before I stop, I want to get back to the Mawad Mag thing again, real quick. Reynolds, Chris Reynolds, you want to blame Mawat Mag's injury as a big reason? What if Mawat played and we still had the same record with the same losses? Indiana, Illinois, Minnesota, Nebraska. Yeah, we lose all those games. Northwestern we lose. Mawat didn't get hurt. Are we in now? Because we got Mawat. He's been with us the whole time. Are we in? BS. Bullshit. That's what I call it. It's bullshit. Because if Mawat didn't get hurt and we had the same exact record and same exact results, you're telling me, oh, we would have been in? No, we still wouldn't have been in. So don't blame Mawat. We have enough of a resume. We were top 35 Ken Palm, 40 net, which are supposed to be the metrics that mean something. No, now we're getting too much in the minutia. All this other bullshit with, strength of schedule against this team, against that. Rutgers looks like, smells like, played like a March Madness team. End of story. You got the Defensive Player of the Year twice. Probably will be the National Player of the Year with the Naismith. Already is the National Player of the Year, ESPN for defense. Number one defensive player in the nation, Caleb McConnell. You don't get him in the tournament? Cliff Omori, one of the best big men in the country. Let's not put him in. Paul Mulcahy, been playing well. Found his mojo back the last two games. You got a Derek Simpson who's really elevating his game. Cam Spencer hits 2 winning shots against Northwestern and Purdue. Bullshit. Sorry. Anyway, let me thank the referees that stole the Ohio State game from us, because you do what you're supposed to do, follow the rules. Big Ten made a statement saying Rutgers should have won, sorry. This was a rule violation. This wasn't, he got fouled, he didn't get fouled. It went out of bounds, it didn't go out of bounds. This was a rule violation. So Larry Scirotto, Kip Kissinger, and Roger Ayers, thank you very much for not knowing the rule, not enforcing it, and giving Ohio State that game. At Ohio State, by the way, which if we just had that game, I think that would have been way too much for the committee to keep us out at that point. Way too much. They beat Ohio State at Ohio State with a full squad when they were even ranked, I believe. No. Thank you, Larry, Kip, and Roger. Thank you. Terrible job reffing that Ohio State game. And then the follow-up game against Seton Hall, I want to thank John Gaffney, Paul Selk, And Rob Riley, Rob Riley from New Jersey, for blowing the Seton Hall game. These kids came off of that Ohio State game feeling like crap, feeling like they got robbed, and they didn't even get the 50-50 balls in that game. You guys all were terrible. You didn't feel for these kids. You didn't give them a break. They just got robbed. And terrible calls against us in that Seton Hall game where we ended up losing by 2. Terrible. And a quad 3 loss, I believe, or quad 4 at this point. I don't even know. Again, more minutia bullshit. Doesn't matter. And then my favorite official that I want to thank for the Purdue game in the Big Ten tournament just this past Friday, Mr. Rob Riley. Yeah, Rob's from New Jersey, believe it or not. From New Jersey. And he was horrible in the Ohio State game, didn't know the rules, and then at the Big Ten tournament against Purdue, he had 12 fouls against Rutgers, only 5 called against Purdue. Thanks, Rob. Yeah, I'm calling you out, buddy. Could be a great guy, probably have a beer with you, whatever, but as far as your job goes, let's separate it. Nice guy. I don't know if you are or not. Could be a complete bad person. I'm not going there. I'm not questioning your character. I'm questioning your job skills. You are horrible in that Purdue game. That final foul against Caleb, where Derek came down, missed the layup, Purdue got the rebound, turned. Caleb was right there waiting for him. Defensive player of the year. He knew what was going to happen. The guy turned. Caleb just grabbed the ball right away from him. You blew a whistle from the other side of the court. You didn't even see it. It wasn't even your call. There was a ref right there on the baseline, didn't blow his whistle. You had to blow it from out of position. Shame on you. That was horrible. You foul out our best defensive player, took a possession away from us when we were coming back, and probably would have won if we got that ball. But no, you had to make the call, put them on the foul line for 2 shots, and fouled out Caleb. Shame on you. You had 2 other calls in that Purdue game that your partners overruled. 2 that went against Rutgers. One was an out-of-bounds play. Like, both were out of bounds. You called it for Purdue. Your partners, your referee partners had to go, no, Rob, that was wrong. That was out of bounds on Purdue. So you were even going above and beyond to screw Rutgers in that game. 12 fouls on Rutgers, 5 on Purdue. Shame on you, Rob. Horrible game. I really think your refereeing days should be over. Sorry. But you did terrible. But again, I'm just criticizing your work ethic. You can criticize mine anytime you want. I'll take it like a man. You deserve to get criticized for those 2 games. Anyhow, yeah, we now are NIT bound. Tomorrow night we are playing against Hofstra. I just hope the guys can get it together. I think they can. I know they're devastated. It's going to be tough. It's not going to be easy to get off the mat after this because I know that how they felt against Purdue. Cam Spencer took a 3 right when we needed it. Got hit right here. Ball was this far short of the rim. No call. I spoke to Cam after the game. I know he wasn't too happy about it, but he's a good kid. They're all good kids. They get over it. But now this March Madness is going to be a big ask to overcome. But I hope Coach Peichel and the coaching staff get them back on track and get them going because they could make a run in this tournament and take it for whatever it's worth. I know it's kind of like Vince Lombardi used to say, second place is like kissing your sister. And hopefully the guys don't feel like it's kissing your sister, but in a way the basketball world unfortunately does consider the NIT kind of your sister. And used to be the tournament. I remember back in the day, they used to be the top. I remember my dad played for teams in college that NIT was the only kind of game in town. NCAA was kind of just starting. And then you had both. And some teams played, and I think there was a few teams that won both, the NIT and the NCAA, way back when, the 40s and 50s, I believe. So at one time, NIT really meant a lot, and for some reason, NCAA, marketing-wise, money-wise, has blown up. Obviously, March Madness, the coverage, it's off the charts. That's why it really hurts when teams don't get in, especially Rutgers, who got totally screwed on this one. We've heard it in the past. Now it hit home, and it's frustrating. It's sad. But anyway, let's just hope we get the guys up together. I already heard the rack is sold out already for the game Tuesday night. So I know it'll be humming. Hopefully that'll be enough, and the guys will be pissed off enough and take it out on Hofstra. And sorry, Hofstra, but I hope you get your asses kicked, because that's the only way the boys are going to get a little bit of relief and then move on and continue. And let's take this all the way to Las Vegas, guys. Hopefully we'll see you there. Again, anybody who watches this, I hope I helped alleviate some frustration, because my phone's been blowing up. All my friends, buddies, and colleagues all feel the same way. So you're not alone. And I hope I helped you feel a little better. Bye-bye.